Clearly
Okay,
visible.
great. Good afternoon, everyone. And actually, we are repeating this particular webinar about studio projects and sessions for collaboration. So those who have missed it last time or those who have joined only this time, today we are going to learn a lot about the collaboration. Okay. So the main agenda for today's webinar is about the Bluebeam Studio, which is nothing but it's a cloud solution, basically for the collaboration. So wherever you may be or your team may be, anywhere in geographical location, will be able to collaborate with each other using the Studio Cloud. So we are going to talk about just the overview, and in Studio it consists of two parts. One is Studio Project and the other one is Studio Session. So we are going to talk about these two main topics today. Further, more in details, today's goals are by this end of this webinar, you should be able to first create a studio account with your own Bluebeam ID and you should be able to log in. You should be able to create studio project as well as studio sessions also. And in them, you should be able to invite users, set permissions. Then how Studio Project invites, we will see how in Studio Project you can invite users, set permissions. It will also help you with storing and sharing of the document files and also maintain the revisions, manage accesses to documents. And for the studio sessions, how this feature is useful, and we'll see a lot about the functions allowed in studio sessions to collaborate on documents. So these are our webinar goals for today. So as I mentioned before, Studio, it's a cloud solution. So it is available for you to collaborate all 24 by 7. And also from any geographical location, you should be able to collaborate. So some of your team may be sitting in different location or maybe at site or maybe at vendor's place. Everybody will be able to collaborate once they are invited. Then there are two parts in it. One is called as projects and the other one is sessions. So projects is nothing but you can consider it to be like your library, office library, wherein there is, it's like a lightweight document management system wherein it acts as a single source of truth or single repository for all your project related documents. So whatever documents you have related to a particular project, you will be able to store each and every document into Studio Project. So you can create n number of projects. Within these projects, you should be able to create lot of, I mean, n number of folders or subfolders, and you can also store lots of files. I mean, absolutely, there is no limit on the number of projects that you can create or number of folders and subfolders you can create or number of files that you can store inside the Studio Project. And this studio project and studio sessions or Studio Cloud, this is an add-on feature to your Bluebeam Revu license. So you are not paying anything extra for getting the projects or sessions facility in your workflows. And in project, as I mentioned before, you can store whatever files you want. So it is not necessary that you should have only PDF files stored inside projects. You can also store the 2D CAD files or 3D model files, or maybe anything like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, specifications, data sheets, you name it, and you can store it inside your projects. And again, you can set the permissions or the access control on the folders or the files or onto the users. So that is in all nothing but it's a lightweight document management system. The organizations who do not have their own document management system implemented can make use of this projects very well, and it is absolutely free of cost for you. Only thing, the Studio Cloud, I mean, these projects and sessions can be created by only the licensed users who have opted for plan complete or plan core. So if you are having basics license, I mean, the Bluebeam comes in 3 flavors: basics, core, and complete. So if you are having basics license, in that case, you can collaborate. Only thing, you should be invited by somebody who is having a core or complete license. So that is about the projects. Now we'll talk about the sessions. So sessions, you can compare it as your virtual meeting room or a conference room, wherein you are going to put the PDF files, whichever you want to be reviewed collaboratively by your team members, so that you can put onto the virtual meeting table, and then again you invite the collaborators. Again, in this case, your team could be situated anywhere, and also it could be internal as well as external stakeholders. So you can invite not necessarily only the internal members, but you can also invite the external parties like your owner or your main contractor or your subcontractor or your licensors or your PMC. So in both projects and sessions, you can invite the internal as well as external collaborator. So that's the introduction and what projects and what session is all about. Now, I already mentioned that Studio Projects is a document storage and management system. So you are storing all your project related document in the cloud. So then you can access it from anywhere, and it is available 24/7. This also helps you in maintaining the QA/QC and the speed with which you can execute any project, and with accuracy. You always get only one copy of the latest document. Then it has also got an integrated revision control. So whenever you want to modify or revise any drawing, you have to check out the document from the system, like how you would issue a book from a library. There is always one copy of it. So you take it out, you can modify it in its native application. So say suppose it is a Word file, then in that case, I mean docx file, then in that case, you would open that particular document file in Word application. You will make changes into it, and then again you will check in back into the system. So this way you are getting always the latest version for referring to the drawing in the or drawing or document in the project. And you can search or you can get the data that you need faster, because it is only one copy and it is at the central location. So that is about the Studio projects. So in this particular slide, you can see that on top there is this architect, structural engineer, MEP engineer. These are all the internal stakeholders, and they are using the desktop solution, that is Bluebeam Revu. But if they want to collaborate with external parties like contractor or owner, they also will get access to the same files or the repository, but using just the browser. That is also possible. So for external users, if they want to collaborate, they can use the browser. Now comes the studio sessions. So like Studio projects, this has also got some features like multiple people can mark up and reply, and they can chat simultaneously. You can keep track of markup authors. So in a session, it will clearly log in the markups list who is the author and what kind of comment he has put in. Then he or she can alert the other users also who are supposed to take any action. Then this speeds up in design reviews, because generally what happens is, if it is a paper-based workflow, the document will pass from the originator discipline to another discipline in a linear fashion, one after the other. Or once you have collated all your internal comments, you may want to uh, uh, fetch the comments from the external party also. So this all happens in a silos if you are not using the studio session. So in case of studio session, parallelly you will be able to fetch the comments from internal as well as from the external party. And you can also customize the collaboration permission. So which all permissions needs to be given to the collaborator, a creator of the session can decide. Again, in this case, the markups and measurements can be collaborated by internal team as well as the external team. So with this, I finish with the basic presentation of or what exactly is studio project and studio session is. Now we will directly jump to the actual demonstration. So this is the user interface. Most of you are already users of Bluebeam, so I don't need to explain you about the user interface. Only a few things I would like to mention over here is on the top right corner, you will find the Bluebeam user ID, which is nothing but your email address and some more information about your account. For example, the region from where your Bluebeam license is fetched. So there is a server in Australia for APAC region or for India country users. We are fetching the license from Australia and my plan is complete. So I was mentioning about the other plans. So in the other plans, you can just check the information on the internet about bluebeam.com pricing, and clearly you will see three flavors of Bluebeam and what features are being offered in basic, core and complete. And clearly over here you can see, you can, I mean, if you have a basics type of license, you can only participate in studio collaboration, but you cannot initiate or manage the studio collaboration. So that is possible only in core and then in complete. So you can see over here, initiate and manage studio collaboration. Plus, if you scroll down further, you can check this particular section, studio in review. So over here, create new studio projects and studio sessions. This capability or facility is not available in basics. So your plan needs to be either core or complete to create a studio project or studio session. Another thing I wanted to uh, inform you before I jump in, that the Studio Cloud is also at 5 locations. I mean, Studio Cloud server is at 5 locations. One is United States, then United Kingdom or UK, then Australia, Germany, and Sweden. And you can make use of any of these studio servers, no matter your license is coming from which region. So in my case, it is coming from Australia, but I can very well log into any of these servers. Only thing I will have to first create an account in those studio servers. So right now, I have connected myself into Studio Australia because that is by default I can use. But if I want, I can also connect to United States. And all I have to do is just put in my user ID or Bluebeam ID and then also put my credentials, that is password for US server. And then I can see I've logged into US server now, and I will be able to see which all projects are there under US server for me or which all sessions are there in the US server for me. I can jump in back to my Australia server and sign in with my Bluebeam ID in the Australia studio server. But if I haven't created my account in some other studio servers, all I have to do is just try going over there, and even though I use my Bluebeam ID and try to use the password which was set for some other servers, it doesn't allow me to sign in. This combination doesn't look right. So basically, before connecting to any of these studio servers, I need to sign up. So in the sign up, I will have to mention all these details, and then this is the same as the Bluebeam ID or the email address, and you can put the password or and then confirm the password and create an account. So once you have created, you will be able to connect to that particular server. So those who have not created their ID or the account in the studio server, they have to first create that ID, uh, and then they will be able to join the studio project or studio server. So now let us first see the studio project. So on my left hand side, this is my panel access, and there is this particular panel, studio panel, that you can open. From here, you can log into whichever server you want. And now let us see how we can create a new project. So to create a new project, you have to click onto this add and then go to new project. And then you can put any name, say for example, webinar 24 June 2025. You can give any name to your project. So a unique ID will be also provided to a studio project that you have created. So you can see on top, this is the name of the project and this is the unique ID. Now under this, you would like to maybe create a new folder structure using this new folder, or you can directly upload files for this particular project, or whichever folder you have created under which you would like to upload the file, or this is very simple to use uh, project creation, that you can upload directly a folder itself. So what you can do is, if you have created a folder structure already, all you have to do is just open that particular uh, folder. So say suppose this is the airport project under which there are lots of other subfolders. So I want to create a studio project using this particular folder and its subfolder. So I will select it and it will create or replicate the same folder structure for me. So it is still uploading. You can see over here, it is still uploading. So one by one, it is creating the folder and also putting the files inside it. You can browse them like this. It is still uploading actually. I can also simply click and drag the file and upload it like this instead of using this upload files. It is still uploading depending upon the number of files and folders you have. And you can see it's not only the PDF files, but there are some other files also, like XLSX files are there. It is still uploading. In the meantime, I can show you what is the difference between the studio project and studio sessions in terms of some technical comparison, or in terms of the number of attendees, number of files. So you can see over here in the studio project, you can add unlimited number of users. Maximum files per project is again unlimited. Supported file, you can see lots of different files are supported. Maximum file size is again unlimited. Markup size is unlimited. Tool storage available is unlimited. So this is basically for the studio project. What you have to remember is you can collaborate it with unlimited number of users, and you can have unlimited number of projects, and any file types that you want, you will be able to store it inside the project. And the maximum file size also could be unlimited. So what I will do is, I mean, it is taking a little longer time. I can just directly go to already created similar project, and you can see over here all the PDF files is there. Then there is some PPT file is there. Then inside maybe specifications, there are some doc files are there. So this is acting as a project document repository. And any point of time you want to just open a particular document, all you have to do is maybe double click onto this document, and it will open in its native file format. But you can observe over here that it is a read-only file. It is not the updatable file. So in case if you would like to update anything, all you have to do is you have to right click, you have to say checkout. So it gets checked out over here. And then when you double click onto this, it it is no more a read-only file, and this you can modify. So say for example, you have highlighted something, or you have made whatever changes you have made, you are sharing it at the same location, and then you check in back into the system. So while you are checking in back, you have to put comment. So you can say highlighted. You can put whatever comment you want, highlighted important uh, points, and you can check in. Okay. So now this is checked in back into the system. If you double click onto this, the next user is going to see these modifications which we have done. You can also right click and check the revision history of it, and it comes along with the comment that you have put in. In case if you would like to go to the earlier version, you can open the earlier revision also, or you can restore it to whichever revision you want. So you can see this is not highlighted. This is again read only, and it was the previous version. So this way you can have the history also stored along with your document. And in case if it is a PDF file, the PDF file can be directly opened in the split view, or if you want, you can open it side by side. So let me open it side by side. Okay, so it opens the PDF file. Again, you can see over here, it is a locked file. So in case if you want to put some comments, they are currently disabled comments. So if you want to put the comments, you have to check this out. Once it is checked out, then these commenting tools get enabled. You can put whatever markups or measurements you want to do. And then you can check in back with whatever comment that you want to put in. Once it is checked in, you can see again it has got disabled. It is disabled, and you can also check its the revision history by right clicking onto revision history, and you can see over here check comments is there, and this is the third revision, you can say. All right, so this way you can make use of your studio project, and then if you want to collaborate your project with external party or maybe some internal stakeholders, you can go to the settings over here and you can manage the user accesses. So currently I've given the access to some external user, that is Gmail user. Similarly, I can go on adding the email addresses that I want to. Uh, and then also I can set for all attendees whether they send invitations, manage user access, all these permissions I can set for the attendees or specific attendee. I can also define the kind of folder permission. So instead of read, we can put read write, or we can also put read write delete kind of permissions to the stakeholders or the attendees of it. So you had seen just now that this particular webinar test project is shared or collaborated or with this Gmail ID. So what we will do is, let us see how an external user who is having just the browser and not necessarily a Bluebeam desktop version, can sign in onto this particular web server, I mean the cloud server, Studio Cloud server. To access a Studio Cloud server in Australia region, there is this link app.bluebeam.com.au. You have to sign in into it, and I can put this Gmail account and put the password. You can understand that this particular Gmail account, it is representing an external stakeholder, and the you he or she has created a Bluebeam ID, and then also created an account in Australia server. So you can see over here there is this webinar test project is there, and you will find the same folder structure and the PDF files that you want over here. You can browse, you can go to a particular uh, file from here also. All right. So this way, even the external user can access once the access is being provided by the project creator. All right. So that's about the projects, studio projects. And now we will see how we can use the studio sessions. So one way of creating a studio session is, I can go to whichever file I want, just right click and say add to new session. But instead of this, I will directly go to studio sessions, and then I can create altogether new session, or I can join to a particular session using the unique ID that will be there along with the studio session. So to create a new session, I'll click on to session name, and then I will give a meaningful session to this. So I will say webinar 24 June 2025. and I can add whichever files I want. So maybe these two files I want to add. Okay, which all permissions I want to give to my collaborators, whether they should be able to save these files on their local PC, whether they should be able to print it out, or of course we are doing all this for getting the markups or the comments on the drawing, so this has to be there. You should be able to also alert the attendees with this particular feature, and whether those users should be able to add more number of documents from their side into the same session, that is webinar 24 June 2025. This is a security feature that is restrict attendees by email address. So suppose if I'm inviting only a particular email address attendees, they only will be able to access this particular session and these PDF files. So in the session, I can put only the PDF files, and these are all the permissions and the restrictions I can put for the session. I can also define the session expiry date. Okay, so maybe till 27th, I want to keep this open. And suppose if any of you create a studio uh, account, log into their Australia region studio session account. For them, I'm keeping this open. So maybe you can also join and do some experiment if you want onto these files. Say OK. All you have to remember is you have to come to this interface or go on to the browser and you try to join to this particular number 006-271-132. Now over here, it is showing that this particular session is created. This is the unique ID of that session. These two are the documents inside the session. And currently it's only me who has joined. And now I'm going to invite some other external user also. And likewise, I can go on adding the number of email addresses that I want. I will check and include these emails. So it tells me under Gmail domain, there is only one user. If I would have invited some more users, maybe from nemechek.com, so it would show the domain as nemechek.com and the number of users whose names I have typed in. I can also add a message. Please review by 27 June 2025. I can save this message and I will say invite participants. So now you can see in the not joined, there is only one user and this is the joined user. Then I can open any of the drawing which is there in the session. Okay. And then I can start marking up onto the drawing. So say suppose from Greek number. I have put in some comment. So this particular comment is by the internal user. So I will just mark this as internal. Okay. And you can see in the markup list also, it records this particular comment by the author name. Okay. And it is done on this second floor plan. Okay. Now let us go to the same user, pgmail user. I can go to studio sessions and it will show me there is this webinar. It has come automatically. Okay, and there are these two PDF files in the session. And then as an external user, I don't get access to the kind of commenting tools or the estimation tools that I have, but I get access to only limited few functionalities. So I will just use this particular comment, that is Cloud Plus, change the sectional view. Okay, so I can put any comment like this, and since it is by external user, I will just type external comment or identification. And now you can see over here in the same drawing, it has immediately replicated that comment which was given by external user. So this happens dynamically at runtime. Okay, and also it shows over here which all users have joined and which all users haven't joined yet, and what are their activities, they get recorded over here. Okay, the actual comments also get recorded over here, and you can see the comment by the another user is locked. I cannot modify this particular comment, delete this comment as an internal user, but only thing that I can do is I can reply to this, okay, noted, something like this. Okay, and so you can see it has come as the reply to this comment. Again, another thing that I can do is I can also set the status for this comment, and I will say accepted. Then once I complete this particular comment or resolve that particular issue, I may say this has completed. So you can see it comes along with the date and timestamp onto this. And once it is done, all the comments are collated. I can always extract the CSV summary or a PDF summary. So if I extract it as a CSV summary, it can be stored at whatever location you want. And since it's a comma separated value, it opens automatically in the Excel for you. And then you can, like attach this particular file as your comment resolution file along with the drawing. Then another thing is, suppose for this particular comment, you want to alert a particular attendee, you have to right click onto that comment and say choose, and it is showing me only one name, PG mail. That is because that user has joined. If there are users in not joined category, they will not be seen over here. So at least once somebody has to join the session, and I can alert to this user. So once it is alerted, actually it will come under the notification tab over here. All right, and I want to show you like how such kind of invitations and alert messages are seen for the invitee. So all the invitees are getting the mail something like this. When I put the when I create a session and invite any users by their email addresses, it comes like this. So you can see the session name is mentioned. The unique session ID is also mentioned. It is hosted on which server, that is also mentioned. Then similarly, there will be an alert message also. So it takes little time to get the alert message uh, in the mail, but it looks something like this. whichever comment for which I have alerted a user will be shown as a small screenshot, and then it is then hyperlinked also. So when you click onto it, it will automatically open this particular session, and then it will drive you to that particular comment in the session. Coming back to the session over here, uh, any user who is collaborating currently can set the status either as finished or reviewing or waiting, or he could put any customized uh, comment also as a status. Say, for example, waiting for vendor input. So unless and until vendor's input is there, he is not able to finish. So why this is given is because the originator would know in what status uh, is the session by a particular user, and all these uh, activities, you can see they get recorded into this particular tab. Okay. Once everyone has, like uh, given their commands, they they can just leave this session, and again they can, if they want, again they can join to the session either by clicking onto it, or you can just go to this join, and then you type that unique ID, studio ID. So 006 271, sorry, dash 271 dash 132, and just click OK. It will connect to the same session only. All right. So you can just leave the session if you are a collaborator. Only thing, you mention whatever is your status and then you leave. Okay. And as a originator, he or she can finish the session and create a report into three types. I mean, whichever you want. It could be only a record summary. So what do I mean by record summary is whatever is mentioned inside this record, it is going to create a PDF file of this. Okay. And then another type of report is the PDF package report. So in PDF package reports, there will be a folder in which your all the commented files will remain, and then the record summary will be there outside of it. And in the combines file report, it will generate a single PDF file, first with the records, and then later on the actual files. Okay, so let me see if I have the samples of these reports. It's taking little time to search the exact reports. I want to show you all the different types of reports. Yes, the guidance is getting better. Hello. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, so these are the different types of reports. First one is record summary. So you can see it is nothing but just whatever is mentioned inside the record. So that will be a single PDF file. And of course, you got all these files from where you can extract the summary also, as well as you can get the main files. So that is one type of report wherein you can get only the record summary. The other type is the package report. So it looks something like this. There will be a folder inside which all your main documents will be there, and there is this record summary again. So you can see this is the record summary, and inside this folder there will be the main file. This is the main file on which it is commented. So this is the package kind of PDF file. And the last one is the combines file reports, in which first the record summary will be there, and then after the records, the actual main drawings will be there as a single file. So these are the three different types of reports you can generate out of Studio Session. Well, so basically that's all about the Studio project and Studio Sessions for today. And now we are open for the Q&A. You can raise your hands and start shooting the questions. Okay, so first question I've got is, uh, as you mentioned, this will gonna use for collaborative purpose if somebody added any comments. So while I am the owner of the document and wanted to delete or edit those comments, so is it possible? If yes, please show us how. I already mentioned that the comments by the other user cannot be modified, they become locked. All you can do is you have to counter comment, or you have to reply to it. You can put the status to it, and once the creator, as in this case you are saying that you are the creator of the session, so once you complete the session and finish the session, you will anyways get the main file. In that you will be able to modify if you want to modify something, but during the session you will not be able to modify anything in the comments that are given by somebody else. Any more queries? You can put it in Q&A. I hope you are able to access the Q&A section. If not, you can just raise your hand, then our team will unmute you and then you can ask the question. I hope users are able to see the Q&A section or chat section. If not, you can put your query in chat or Q&A, or raise your hands. Looks like no more questions. I hope the attendees are able to type
Hear you.
in their questions. I think Saiket wants to say something.
Yeah, I have allowed him the mic. He can unmute and speak.
Yeah, Saiket. Saiket. Hello, Saiket. Your mic is unmute. We can't hear you. Are you not able to type in Q&A? You can put it in chat also if you want.
Any other questions?
In case if you are not able to communicate, then I will just type in my email address. I will just share it again.
Oh,
Yeah, Tausif wants to say something.
yes, yes. First of all, thank you, Pushkar, for giving all the insights about the Bluebeam sessions and the Bluebeam Studio project. So my question is, is there any way to use or emphasize the AI tools in the Bluebeam sessions or the Bluebeam or any Bluebeam sessions, or I would say Bluebeam project as well? Is there any plugin or anything we can implement the AI for that?
Separately, there is nothing like this, but Bluebeam itself has got some AI features built in that you can make use of. Like say, for example, there is a uh, auto auto align feature is there in Bluebeam that you must be aware of. That is also one of the AI features, like for compare documents and overlay pages. So such tools are already there, or you want to search something. So that is also actually an AI feature. So you can make use of the AI features which are already embedded inside the Bluebeam itself. If you want to use the other AI tools, you can very well go to those AI tools and open any PDF files, and you can do whatever functions you want to around it.
Yeah, I understood your point. So just to inform you that I am the QS background guy, so I wanted to know how we could should. I mean, we I understood the collaborative way it is very good and effective. So I
Hmm.
just wanted to know how we could gonna help us to me in terms of the quantification and the doing the takeoffs and all to implement the AI things. Like there are a lot of tools in the markets. They are doing the if, as you mentioned, the search option, if any drawing has any light fixtures or anything else, so directly by using the AI tool it will be automatically count those doors or the light fixtures. Same if I wanted to calculate the area takeoff for any on the drawings, so automatically the that area should be consider and measure those areas. So
Yeah.
like this is, yeah.
So actually, your query is not related to Studio projects and Studio Cloud, which is our today's webinar's main topic. We already conducted one webinar or maybe two webinars on the estimation, especially,
Okay,
or
okay.
this measurement feature. So
Hmm.
you can refer to that in future if we have more webinars on this. You can refer to them as well. And in case, I mean, you would like to implement, I mean, there are this API integrations and all also possible for these studio sessions with your whichever um, document management system or the corporate applications that you may be using, in which you want to fetch some information from Bluebeam session. So such kind of integration is also possible. In case if you have any queries around all these, you can connect to us offline on our email address. So I've put this another email address also, which is for the support that you can refer to. So this is the email address on which you can write to us. Also, you can put in your queries in the feedback form, which is shared by Shweta. But today we will be more focusing on the studio projects and studio sessions only, especially studio sessions, because most of the times people do have their own document management system. So studio project is a lightweight document management system, and it is only for the users, at least currently, for the users who can't afford to have their document management system. And such users can make use of this free of cost, which is not, I mean, once you have the Bluebeam license, it comes along with it. So you're not paying anything extra for having the document management system.
Okay, thank you, Pushkar.
Yes, most welcome.